Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, you can.
Hi, good afternoon. It should be 2 p.m. On your end, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you all doing today?
Fine, sir.
Okay, let's see. All right, just give me one moment. I think we're good to go at this point. Welcome to the Academy. Welcome to Ovalay Academy. My name is Leslie, and this is the UI UX Product Design Foundations class. Let me share my screen so we can get things started. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, can.
So over the next weeks or in the coming weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of work. We're going to be doing a lot of work into how we will end up becoming product designers and how to literally launch our careers into product design. But before we start, let's get to know each other, right? Who wants to go first? Anyone wants to go first?
Good afternoon,
Hi.
everyone. My name is Ifeanyi Ogama.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? What do you work? Are you a student? What are your favorite colors? Do you have any movies you watch? What are your hobbies? Just tell us about you.
I do work interior decoration.
Okay, you're into interior decoration. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I just decided to move into tech. I just want to switch career. Maybe eventually I'll maybe be doing the two.
Okay,
But for now, I just want to know more about UI UX.
okay. So who else wants to have a go?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Uwede. So currently, I work as a public health analyst and engagement officer at a digital health NGO, like a health tech NGO. Where I work
Oh,
mostly in
good.
I work mostly in the public health, the non-tech aspect. I just want to move more into tech. I've taken some courses in UX, but I just want to expand more.
Oh, okay, that's good. Who else wants to go next?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Nelson. I do graphic design. I shoot videos. I shoot and edit videos. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to transition into tech fully. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who else?
Hi, good evening. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Kafwe Kichuku, a real estate consultant.
Okay.
I make money for a living, basically.
Oh, man, that is yes. Wait, where do you stay? Lagos?
Leslie, I
Yes,
just
in
want to
Lagos.
say that. Hey,
Eh?
I want to say that
Heavy,
person is bigger than
heavy,
Lagos.
please.
And
Heavy,
he makes
please.
money for a living. It's God.
Of course he makes money for a living. Ah, what a
Heavy,
flex.
please.
I literally want to, I aspire to have that. What? Wow.
So I used to be in the business and the business side of tech before. So I went into real estate, but I want to come back into tech again.
Hold on. So what made the transition from
So
business tech to real estate first?
COVID happened, and it was
Oh,
okay. It's a long story. Everyone knows the story. Don't worry. It's a long story.
okay, cool.
Yeah, but it was so I needed to go back to what I studied in school, so I don't waste my father's money.
Okay. So now you want
So by back, by I can do both at the same time: tech and real estate, and also do tech on other aspects.
All right,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So who wants to go next?
Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my name is Adu.
Uh-huh.
I'm presently an art director with Wild Vision Limited.
You are an art director with Wild Fusion.
Yes, I am.
Dude, what are you doing here?
I don't understand where.
How long have you been at Wild Fusion?
This should be my second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah.
Wild Fusion used to be one of those agencies that people would kill themselves to work at back in the day.
It still is in a
Oh,
way.
good.
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, UI UX is like the next stage in career development for me.
Okay.
I've been in graphic design for 4 years.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is like the next step. And
Okay.
I know I've been following you. Yes, Ikechukwu, I do know Oganujo Loromola. Yeah, I've been following you for a while.
Okay.
For the yeah, this is
Okay, can you just hold on, Chinedu? Hold on 1 minute. There's something I need to sort through.
sure, no problem.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So you can continue.
So yeah, after seeing the ad, I felt, because I know I was looking for options, I wouldn't ask my CD for advice on which one would be best. So we checked through some, and then when I showed him yours, he was like, "Yeah, this is a very good option." So yeah, I am ready to scale up.
Praise the Lord. Wow. It's a pleasure to have you here, Nidu. Can I call you Nidu?
Yeah, sure, please do.
Excellent.
Please
All right.
do.
It's a pleasure to actually have you here. All right. I think the last person to go would be Blessing.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Good
My
afternoon.
name is Blessing Awesome. I
Uh-huh.
am a digital artist and I've been dabbling with UI design for a while now, but I'm ready to get invested. Hence me being here.
Jesus Christ. Can I see some of your stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
Should I send them here or
No, yeah, you can send them on, you can put them up on the chat. Let's check it out.
okay, I will.
I agree. It is quite a small world. All right. While that's happening, one of our instructors is here. Evie, please introduce yourself.
After seeing the caliber of students.
Eh? What? Kini, wait, talk out your chest.
Caliber of students.
No, I like really. I'm telling you, man. This caliber of students are actually, I think these are like one of the more impressive bunch I've seen in a while.
All right. Anyway, hi everybody. My name is Evie, and I call myself an X-shaped designer, generally because my range when it comes to design is all the way from UX research to UI design, and then I do a bit of product management as well, and some market research. So it's X-shaped designer because of the range of stuff that I do. But my background is in UX design, and professionally, I have 5 years of experience. But that's where I'm gonna end. What the total sum is, I'm not gonna say here because I sound old when I do. So I will be taking the UX design, UX research part of this course, and it's my favorite part. So I look forward to sharing my knowledge with y'all. Last thing in my class, so we're not gonna go forward until somebody answers my questions. So thank you.
Evie, apparently your reputation precedes you.
It does. No, it's
Gamma
actually
design, yeah.
It's not talking to me.
Okay,
I
I
don't
think
know.
so. Let's proceed a little bit. So now, my name is Leslie. How do I introduce myself? I keep forgetting. My name is Leslie. I am low-key a sugar daddy of design. I've been designing for a very long time. And the reason why you're saying 17 years is because I actually don't remember how long I've been designing for. I do know I've been designing since '02, but that's like sometimes gauging the exact time period it gets muddy for me. But I've been designing for a very long time. I started as a visual designer, doing flyers, learning how to do print work and all that before I transitioned into visual identity design, designing logos, coming up with brand strategies for businesses, but mostly designing logos and business cards and all that kind of stuff. I transitioned into web design for a while. I think I did like web design with WordPress and other CMSs when WordPress was still old WordPress, say WordPress 2. Before I picked up UI design, and I basically have been in the product design space for a very, very long time. I used to work at Money Point, that's formerly Team Apt. I was there for 5 years. I was at InterSwitch for 2 years. I was at Syracuse for 10 months, I think. I was at Softcom for a while.
Wait, you worked at Softcom?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I
For
worked
1
on
year.
I worked on the original AOL, not this one. The
Are you
original
serious?
AOL. Yeah.
I see you there. What till date? I used to be at Softcom 2019.
Oh no,
I left Softcom
not 20. This AOL we are talking about, it's as old as 2013, 2012, 2013. That was the original AOL.
Very interesting.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Right now, I do a lot of stuff. Obviously, I run Ovalay Academy. I work with Webflow, with a bunch of no-code tools. I design with pretty much a lot of tools. I originally didn't want to become a product designer. Originally, I found myself here by happenstance. I actually wanted to go into motion graphics, but life happened, and I just said, okay, let me just pick up product design. So I've been product designing since product design became a thing in this space. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've been designing for this. I love video games. I love the Rings. I love Star Wars. I love reading a lot of high fantasy, sci-fi novels, and I give talks every now and then whenever I have the chance to. So that's all about me. Any questions? You have anything you want to ask? This is a good time to ask. No questions. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Moving on. All right, so our coursework. This course is going to be running for 12 weeks, and our classes are going to be 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. On Sundays, occasionally, we could have like workshops. What I mean by workshops is probably just spend an hour just doing something interesting, and it usually depends on who is actually teaching at the time. But usually it's between 2 to 4. The workshop may just go from 4 to 5. It's optional. You can stay, you could go if you want. I usually recommend that you stay, but classes are from 2 to 4, Saturdays and Sundays over the period of 12 weeks. And within that 12-week period, we are going to be doing a lot of work. All right. So this is basically the breakdown of what you're going to be learning. Okay. So within this first week, we're just going to be introducing the course to you, which is what we're currently doing. We'll be talking about what UI UX is, and we'll be talking about how to actually think like a designer. The course that Evie is going to be taking you is going to be running for 5 weeks, and it's going to be UX research. It's going to be she's going to be introducing you to what UX research is, the various methodologies, system thinking versus design thinking, the various research categories, how to put together a proper research plan, and then conducting every research as well. You have principles of visual design for 3 weeks. Why this is very important is because it's what's going to guide how you actually do your visual design when you're designing your websites or your mobile app. It's going to help inform your design decisions, because in those places you're going to be learning about the fundamentals: lines, hierarchy, harmony, colors, typography, spacing, grids. You're going to learn all of that in 6 sessions within those 3 weeks. Another instructor is going to be taking you on UI design and basically UI design elements, where you will basically learn how to design for both mobile and web. You will also be taught the fundamentals of design systems. You'll be taught how to prototype. You'll be taught how to create micro interactions with Figma, and then there'll also be lots of practical sessions as well. We have a week for practical sessions where we work on things together, and then we give assignments. We will be giving a lot of assignments. It may look hard and tough, but it's all for your personal and professional growth. Because if you have a good design sense, it gives you an edge over literally everyone else who just learns on the fly, or probably just learns how to use Figma and they can put things together. No, your approach to design will always be better. You will always have that edge. So we'll just take a week for practicals and creative sessions and critique and feedback and questions if you have any. Now, to the interesting part, we have something that we call our Capstone projects. So the Capstone projects essentially is going to be like the culmination of everything that you have learned over the course of 12 weeks. And first of all, you're going to have to propose a topic. And once that topic is approved, you have 4 weeks to execute that topic using everything you've learned. After which you will then present that topic and you'll be graded accordingly. Then we have an extra week for putting together your portfolio and how to actually properly build your CV. Basically, we are trying to prepare you for your first opportunity as a product designer or as a UI UX designer. So that is that. So there will be, like I said earlier, there'll be lots of assignments. You have group assignments, you have individual assignments. It is important that you execute those assignments. It's very important that you execute those assignments because they will be graded, not just for us, but also for you, because those assignments will help you to develop further. And it's a good way to actually assess your growth as a budding designer. Now, attendance on this course is very stringent because you need a minimum of 75% attendance in order for you to qualify for the project phase. If you do not meet this 75% minimum, you will not be allowed to. And if you still want to continue with Ovalay at that point, you have to take the next cohort, which you will still pay for. You'll pay for 50% of the tuition, but that's how it's going to work. This is a way to ensure that you are committed. This is a way to ensure that you're committed to learning and finishing the course on your own. So for projects, like I said, all projects are going to be individual projects except when stated or otherwise. There have been scenarios whereby we have seen people opt to want to have group projects, and we have approved those sort of scenarios. But typically, projects run from between 4 to 5 weeks. And that's all. Do we have any questions? No one is saying anything.
Get a recording of this class.
Oh yes, there is good. So all our classes and sessions are recorded and they are kept on the cloud. So as soon as the session is done, we will just upload to the cloud and everyone will have access to it. Okay. Any further questions? So it's safe to say that everyone understands everything I'm trying to say here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I will just say this. There are a lot of people who have actually taken courses like this and they have benefited immensely, right? And I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. Tech requires commitment. Because more often than not, you will not see results immediately. It requires that you have to keep at it continuously, because that's the only way you will get better. You will get to the point whereby people will look up to you or look at you and say, oh, I want to work with you. What we're doing right now is the foundations, and it's literally just us showing you this is the potential, this is the possibility, this is the door into where you want to go to, right? So on our part as professionals and as tutors, we can literally just show you the door. You determine how far you want to go. All right. Okay, so all I ask is be committed to what you want to accomplish, be clear on what you want to accomplish, and be committed to it. That's all I ask. Also, communication is very important here. So if you have any problems, if there's anything you do not understand, please do not hesitate to reach out. Reach out, please. It's very important, right? If you're not clear on something, if you're not clear on a topic, if you need extra help, reach out to any of the instructors, or you can reach out to me direct. My doors are always open. Actually, my doors close by like 7 p.m. at night. Please don't buzz me at night. But if you have any questions, you can just send me a message on Slack. Even if it's at night and I don't respond to you, I will definitely respond to you the following day. We also have a community manager you can also reach out to. Her name is Elsie. She'll be messaging you from time to time, and more oftentimes she'll probably just do drop-in check-ins and just to see how you're faring. So that is that about that. Let us begin. Today we are going to be talking about UI and UX. We're going to define what user interface design means. We're going to define what user experience design means. We're going to talk about what the differences are, and we're going to discuss about how UI and UX works together. Small disclosure. I like to run very engaging classes. So you just sitting back and just listening without engaging is not something I'm going to be having. I want you to come out. I want you to talk. I want you to participate. Okay. Another very important thing to know is that we are all here to learn. I am learning from you as much as you're learning from me. So that means that there are no silly things. There are no silly questions. Ask and ask away. Besides, you paid for it. Yeah. All right. So let's start. What is user interface design? Can anyone just give a guess?
So basically, it's the physical or visual interaction people have with digital products, whether it's a website, whether it's an application. But yeah, just the physical, visual stuff, the beauty of it, the colors, the icons, shapes, the elements, physical stuff that we see.
Oh, good. All right. So anyone else?
Yeah,
Yeah. So what do you think UI design is? What do you think user interface design is?
I think it's the artistic or intentional arrangement of the principles of design that the customer can interact with on their phone, their laptops, and such.
I should frame that definition. I swear, it sounds so technical, but so beautiful as well. I really should frame that definition. Thank God I'm recording it. I'll go over it. It sounds so deep. All right, so who else wants to have a go?
It's basically what they said. The user's interaction with the
I want to hear it from using your words.
user's interaction with the product, how they interact with the product, how you design the interface to make interaction better for the users, more appealing. Easier for the
Okay, good.
users.
Good. All right. So that sounds fair. So now, user interface design is a strictly digital practice. And it is a strictly digital practice in the sense that you only encounter UI on digital devices. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You only encounter UI on digital devices, especially within the context of what we are trying to accomplish. If you're designing an interface, for the user is going to interact with that interface via the digital device. Doesn't matter what kind of device it is, as long as it's digital, it's going to interact with it. It could be a tablet, it could be a phone, it could be a kiosk, it could be a POS terminal, it could be a web browser. But as long as it has been designed and the interface, and as long as it exists and the user is interacting with it, that interaction is going to happen on a screen, right? That interaction is going to happen on a screen, and they are going to have to they're going to be engaging and interacting with a lot of things, with a lot of visual and interactive elements like buttons, like icons, typography, like colors. They are going to be interacting with those things. UI design is the process by which designers use to build out interface in software or computerized devices, focusing on looks and style, and it's usually considered to be a subset of UX. Now, if you notice, UI is that middleman between the user and the underlying system. Because without, if you strip away, so take for example, right? How many of us use Cowrywise for our savings?
Not me.
Why?
I don't know. Nothing actually. I kind of trust AO.
Oh, you trust AO? Okay, all right, yeah. Good. AO, I can live with AO. Okay, who else? What else do you use to save? Who saves? I was asking who else saves with Cowrywise?
I don't save with Cowrywise. I use PiggyVest.
Okay, so you use PiggyVest. All right. Okay, so let me generalize the question then. If you save, what do you save with?
PiggyVest.
Okay, so you use PiggyVest. What else?
Yes.
What do you guys save with?
I use PiggyVest too as well.
Okay. Okafo.
PiggyVest and normal bank.
What is happening to car? Okay, so it's possible that this particular sample size are just PiggyVest devoted, except for the one guy who's using the AO.
Yes, he also is a company that you're working for before. He's a loyalist.
Okay, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. If you remove the interface by which we use to interact with your PiggyVest, for example, remove all the buttons, remove all the text, remove all the colors. If you remove the digital interface, what do you have left? There's no way by which you can use to interact with the underlying system, and you probably end up going to the bank, right? So your digital screen is the interface, is the middleman between you and the underlying system. And that is why it falls on us as designers to actually design that interface. Okay, so now, next question. What is user experience design? Who wants to go? Okafo. What do you think when you hear user experience design?
It's, let's say, just more like a customer service. After using the services, what you get back from feedback you get when using the services, how you feel, how you're being treated, whether good or bad, or good, bad. I think some bank will ask you good, bad, fair. So your experience the experience you have while you're going through or navigating through the website or probably an app. Did you use it? What the usage of that app, was it friendly? Was it stressful to use? That experience you go through, how you feel about it. Yeah, that's what I say about user experience design.
Okay, so you're not so far off from what it is, but that's a good idea. That's a good place to actually start. Who else wants to have a go?
To me, UI design is basically designing the product focused on the user, so that it will be easier for the user to use it. The experience using the product. So the designer or whoever designing the product has to design the product in a way that it will be meaningful to the user, easier for the user, something like that. So designing a product that is user focused, or the process of designing a product that is user focused.
That's a lot closer to the mark. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Who else?
So I would say user experience design is basically focusing more on the user's journey through your product. Why is the user using it, or why am I producing this? So basically the user is just focused. Why am I building this product? What problem am I trying to solve? How would this person use it? Okay, what people or what persons am I designing for? What age range? How do I connect to them faster? How do I reduce the process of them getting from start to solution? Just all of that, compiling, looking through or asking all of those questions. I think that's part of what user experience design is all about.
I think that's the closest so far. That's the closest so far. All right, who else wants to try? Last try. Nobody? Okay, so let's move on then. Next design is the process of developing and improving the quality of interaction between a user and all facets of a company, brand, or service. Now, the entire UX process has very little to nothing to do with visuals. It focuses on users because you are trying to get to know more about your users. You're trying to understand why they're using your products. You're trying to understand what value they derive from your products. You're trying to understand their mental frame. You're trying to understand their frame of mind. You're trying to immerse yourself into their shoes, so to speak. It's mostly about getting to know your users, about getting into their psychology, so to speak, and not just their psychology. It's also about getting to solve their problems, right? So take, for example, before we had saving apps, how did we used to save?
Kolo.
Yeah, yes. Okay. How else? How was it? Yeah, we didn't. Saving was a very difficult.
Is you that is assuming that we are saving?
What?
Is you that is assuming that we are saving money?
But you had to have, or at least your parents had to have built in a saving culture. And it was probably easier for them because money comes in from wherever they are getting their money from into their bank accounts, which is being held in banks. So all they needed to do was to tell their, I don't know, what's the word for them?
Bank manager.
Is it the bank manager or the customer rep? Basically, the person that that is the account manager. Let's just call it the account manager. To tell them that, okay, so at the end of the month, I want you to move this amount of money, create a separate account, move this amount of money into into here. That's strictly for savings. I'm not going to touch it. The rest I'll have access to, or move this amount of money into another separate account. That's going to be for expenses. And then you can deduct it directly however you like, and then I'll have access to whatever is left in my own personal collections account. But it was a process that was strictly manual. You always have to call someone, right? Now, before people now started digitizing the process of savings, someone must have gotten the brilliant idea to say, oh, hey, why don't we study how people currently save? And then you see that, okay, this is how they actually save. Those that save in banks, save in banks. Those that save in boom booms, save in boom booms. People actually save using Esusua or Ajo, right? Then that's saving. Monthly contributions, that's how they save. Some go as far as keeping money with friends or family members. Not the best, usually not the best approach because that stuff never worked. But they believed that by keeping money with someone they trusted, they were saving that money. right? As a UX person, as a UX designer, your job is to look at all those various scenarios, try to understand why people do what they do, and then to come up with a solution that solves those problems in a manner that is easy for them to adopt and provides the most value. That's why products like PiggyVest works. Because with PiggyVest, all you are just doing is from your account to your Piggy wallet. That's it. You're not calling anyone. You're not leaving money in the hands of anybody fraudulent. You are sure of where your money is and you can check it at any time. And it's easy. And I think PiggyVest it's a habit building, it's a habit building software. So you feel at the end of over a given period, you feel the need to want to save because you're seeing your money and you're seeing it grow. So you know that okay, at the end of the month, I'm throwing 50K into my piggy, and I know that it's going to move from 700 to 750 at the end of this month. And Piggy also introduces this thing that enforces your savings, culture, because they know that people struggle with savings. They are not really good with money. So Piggy will tell you that unless the world is ending, no, it's actually Cowrywise that does that. Cowrywise will never release your money until the day it's supposed to be released. Piggy will release your money for you, but they will deduct a certain percentage. And it's a play of human psychology. If I want to withdraw let's say I already have 750,000 and then there's this shiny new thing that I want to buy, but I'm saving this money for something far more important, right? The psychology Piggy has deployed is if you want to buy this shiny new thing and you want to withdraw the money now, you can, no problem, we won't stop you, but we're going to take a certain percentage, and that percentage will make you stop and think, am I dashing this money to PiggyVest? This is money I worked for. Do you understand? On the flip side, Cowrywise will tell you, the way thing you want to do. This your cash out date is your cash out date. It's not going to change, it's not going to move. You are going to cash out on this particular date. So just figure out how you're going to get it. But we are not giving you your money on this cash out date.
I also PiggyVest also has a that won't release your money until a particular date as well.
Yeah, it's a feature as well. I think it's another saving plan that they have, I believe. But I think the one I just described where they won't release your money, I think that was one of their core features. Right? So it's you researching into those things and coming up with solutions based on your understanding of not just understanding, not just surface understanding, on your deep understanding of how users feel, of how users think, of how users behave. That is how you're able to come up with this kind of solutions. And that is what Evie is going to be teaching you. Why is UI and UX different? Can anyone just hazard it? Come up with a reason. Think about it. Why do you think UI and UX are different? Because in reality, they are different disciplines. But why do you think they are different? Nelson.
So for me, yeah, I think why it's different is because UI is the interface, that's what they are saying, and UX is what you are going to experience while using the app or going through the website, like the navigations and so on. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
So I think they're different because in a way UI is quite limited. But UX can cover products and services that are not basically digital, I say. For example, the savings example you gave, UX was probably existing before UI even came to the picture. So the user experience was something that they were already trying to solve even before digital apps and stuff started coming out, even before websites, because before websites and mobile applications became a thing of the now, the people were already saving, people already had bank accounts, people already had problems that needed solutions, and solutions were being provided. So in a way, I think that is still UX, even though it is not talking about digital products. And just like you explained before, UX has nothing to do with visuals, but UI strictly the visual design, like what you can see. So it's like a physical representation of the UX in either a website or a mobile application. So I think UI is limited in that it is only what you can see, but UX goes beyond what you can see on a digital platform. It involves more of feeling, experience, interaction, encounter, and all of that.
Man, that's a very solid grip of it. That's a very solid grip of it. All right, so let's quickly move. So the main difference essentially is that UX design is mostly about the experience, while UI design is all about the product's interface and basically function. To break it down in layman's terms, UI design is digital. UX design is, or UX research or design is everything else. Because you can't have UI design without a digital interface or without an interface. Right? So that's the main difference. But let's break it down further. Now, with UI design, you're essentially just creating intuitive, aesthetically pleasing, interactive interfaces. You are basically creating experiences that are specific to digital products. And you're basically, at the end of the day, UI borrows a lot, or it feeds off a lot from UX, from the UX process, and it uses the information and the data it gets from the UX process to actually inform its design decisions, to inform the design direction of the product that you're working on, right? Now, for UX is mostly about identifying and solving user problems. And you can apply it to literally any kind of product or service or experience, whether it's online or offline. And more often than not, UX comes first in the product development process. Now, what do they both do? As a UI designer, you often engage in customer analysis, or you will have to need customer analysis because you need to know the people that you're designing for as a UI designer. You have to do some design research and visual exploration. More often than not, you might have to dabble into branding and graphic development, things like logo design, colors, typography usage, creative typography usage, really fun stuff. You find yourself dealing with user guides and storyboards and lots of prototyping and interaction and animation. These are really fun and really interesting stuff. And then you also have to consider the screens that you design for at the end of the day. Like I said earlier, whether you're designing for mobile, for web, for POS, for kiosks, for tablets, you need to be able to create designs that are consistent, especially if you're creating for a brand. So take, for example, like MoneyPoint. MoneyPoint has literally works across board, because I've designed there's a mobile MoneyPoint, I've designed there's mobile, there's web, there's the POS, and there are two POSs that MoneyPoint currently has. There's a regular, they're both smart POSs, by the way, but there's a regular small screen one, and there's a large screen, the full screen POS that kind of feels like a mobile phone. And I had to design experiences for those two within the constraints that those two POS devices actually present. I also had to design for tablets as well. So the plan was to create a consistent experience across all those screen sizes. And that's your job as a UI designer. And then more often than not, you're going to be engaging and interfacing with developers a lot, because after designing, your work has to be developed. So you have to handhold whoever it is that is going to be developing, right? And basically walk them through the designs, tell them what to do, right? So that they don't like go ahead and mess it up. Now, for UX, what a typical UXer does is they engage in computer analysis, they engage in customer analysis and user research, they engage in product structure and strategy, they engage in content development, they often do wireframing and prototyping, they are usually invested in testing and iteration. Now, testing and iteration basically is testing the product, testing your design, or testing a particular hypothesis, and then based on the feedback you get from that test, you go back to your design process and then you try and work out, try to either improve on what is currently existing or you move ahead with what you currently have. Development planning, so you are basically interfacing with the engineer, coordinating with UI designers and developers, as well as tracking goals and integration. So how do they work together? It's fairly straightforward. So if you think about it, yeah, I think it's like the best context to actually think about it. Everyone loves cake, right? What's your favorite cake?
Red velvet.
Huh?
Velvet. What's my favorite cake? Red velvet. I like red velvet.
Real velvet. Oh, okay, brilliant. How does that look like? Is it those red ones with multiple layers? I'm not really a cake person, but say like when I see cake, I eat.
Ice cake.
Has like lots of icing on top, right?
Yes.
Do you bake?
No, I've not baking. I used to bake.
But used to bake. All right.
Yes.
So if you were to make like a red velvet, typically it will practically look red, right?
Yes.
For the most part. Yeah. Okay. So now, if you were to take that red velvet cake without any icing and then put it in the store, do you think that would attract customers?
Not really.
Not really. Good. Now, but if you were to you baked your red velvet, you take it to your special cold room. Okay, no, Jesus, they don't do icing in cold room, do they? I'm an illiterate, sorry. I'm an illiterate. Okay, let's just say you won your apron, you've carried your it's a gun. I know it's a gun. I know that there's a thing that they do. Jesus Christ. I'm embarrassing myself right now. Anyways.
Use the gun. Some use nylon and pipe. Something that looks like pipe.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. One moment. Okay, back to my analogy. So if you like when you take your red velvet cake and then you then start applying your icing, Jesus Christ. I'm really illiterate this, but you apply your icing, you do your styling and your carving. That thing is an art too. It's an actual art form. And then you apply it and it looks all nice and you add like lots of colors and or whatnot. And then you take you take the cake with the icing and you put it in the show glass. It's gonna attract customers.
Yeah, it will.
So people will see it and people will be more interested in let me come and take a slice of this cake, right?
Yes.
Good. All right. So how this works is this. UI is the icing, right? While UX is the cake. So imagine having really good looking icing. Right? Imagine having good looking icing, but when you bite into the cake, the cake tastes like bitter leaf. Obviously, that's a bad experience. You get. So it's similar with that. That's just one scenario. You have it looks good, it looks grand, but when you cut it up and then you bite it, the cake, the underlying cake just tastes bad. It tastes off. All right. So that's a scenario whereby you see products that look good, that look brilliant, yeah. They all look all shiny and stuff, but it doesn't just work. It's not offering you any form of value. Do you understand? So a simple example of such a product would be, I don't know, maybe GTWorld. GTWorld on paper looks good. People claim it looks good. I don't think it looks good. But on paper it does look good. But the experience behind GTWorld, and I don't know if they fixed it up by now, but the experience behind GTWorld is mostly just poor. Right. Now, the initial example I gave, where you actually have a red velvet cake, it tastes beautiful. Everyone knows that it literally just melts in your mouth, but it's not looking attractive. People will not naturally gravitate to it because they may have heard that it tastes good, but the fact that it doesn't look good, dampens their expectation. They would probably just shy away from it. A good example of such a product would be Nairaland, for example. And Nairaland is probably like a great community, but the platform is just broken, man.
It's terrible, actually.
Like the experience is mostly terrible.
It's extremely confusing.
You understand? So that is how you can think about how UI and UX actually work together. UI is the icing on the UX cake, and they both have to be good in order for your product to work. So I think that's the best way to actually think about it. All right. So any questions?
My question is, starting off, my main aim was to just do UI, but with the analogy that you've given, it goes without saying that they both work hand in hand.
Yes, they do.
I was wondering, what if in a case where there's a different person that is a UI designer and a different person that is a UX designer, does that hinder like the smooth flow of the whole product design? I don't know if you
Actually,
understand.
I understand what you're saying. So more often than not, you will probably find people that claim or that say that they do both UI and then UX. And the way it works is there's usually a split. One person who probably leans more into UI than into UX. Me personally, I lean more into the UI side of things than UX. Evie, for example, is more UX than UI. Now, if you find yourself in a scenario whereby there is a dedicated UX person and and you're probably like a dedicated UI person, it's a lot better because it makes the flow a lot better because both of you are collaborating on the same product. And that means that you are able to specialize, yes, but you're also able to collaborate. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, because at some point I was thinking if you could have a vision for what you want, like the UI design to be like, but the person that is in charge of the UX would want something different for the better experience of the user. Thinking if that could be like.
Oh yeah, that happens. That happens from time to time, and there are ways by which you can actually navigate that.
Okay.
There are lots of ways by which you can actually navigate that. So one of the ways by which we do those type of things is when, let's say we have a particular design, for example, and then the researcher is saying, this is not going to be, it's not going to be work, it's not going to work, it's not going to be useful, blah, 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 blah. The easiest way to verify or to settle that argument is to put it to the test. So you do a type of A/B test. Everybody's going to teach you about that. But you do like a type of A/B test whereby you test both your ideas and her ideas, and then you gauge how users respond to those ideas. In product design, data is, especially data from users and feedback from users, is very important, because if you go ahead and design astray in the name of what's it called, in the name of you want it to be fine, or you want Oga at the top does not like a particular, what's the word? Oga at the top does not like a particular feature, or he wants something, Oga at the top wants a particular feature to be implemented without proper testing or validation from users, then you will end up with a product that nobody likes, or features that nobody wants to use.
Okay.
So if, like, okay, so for me, like me, for example, now I'm mostly like I'm a hands-on interactions type of guy, and you find me doing things like this on Figma.
Okay.
And that's just me. Evie, on the other hand, most likely it's not like she doesn't design, she designs, but if Evie and I were to be working on a product, she would mostly be dealing with the research, and then we'll be meeting regularly to discuss about the product and how findings influences my design processes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Is that all? Do we call it a day? Is that all?
So would you advise one to specialize, or can we do both the UX and the UI design? So if you check like online, you see a lot of people specializing. Most people will say they're UX designers, some will say they're UI designers. I used to think they were like the same, UI UX designers, and not until I started really researching on it. And then I found out that people just tend to use one particular, like they tend to focus on one particular aspect of it. I don't know, is that deliberate, or is it something that anyone and everyone you can, if you choose to do both, then you can enjoy?
It is possible for you to actually specialize. And it's actually okay. It's actually okay for you to actually specialize. Either ways, you can specialize and just maintain yourself as a researcher. You can specialize and maintain yourself as a strictly visual UI type of person. That is actually okay. Either ways is fine, right? But personally, I would advise that even if you're specializing, have a solid knowledge of how the other side works. Okay. Not for the sake of, oh, I don't know where I'm going to find myself, so it's best I have all this knowledge, but so that if you find yourself in a scenario whereby you have to interact with a designer, you know how to speak with them, you know how to talk their language. Or if you're a designer and you find a scenario where you're going to be engaging with a researcher, you know how to speak their language and you understand what they're saying. So that, I think, is a very productive way of thinking about it.
Okay, I think that's, yeah. Okay, Evie, I see your response. Thank you.
Okay, in the absence of any other question, thank you guys for coming. We'll be talking more tomorrow about how to actually think as like a designer. And yeah, also there's a link here. It's an attendance link. Please fill that. Like I said, it's how we actually track attendance. So please fill that, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
tomorrow.
Please, what time tomorrow?